So this young woman is a therapist, and people were not happy when it originally came out with the way she was speaking. They felt like her curse words and her delivery wasn't what they would like to see for a professional therapist. And I get that, totally get it. But I also feel like everybody is less professional nowadays. Everybody is less professional nowadays. Doctors are posting surgeries on the internet, doing little TikTok videos and shit, dancing while you're like on a table fighting for your life. You know what I'm saying? Like lawyers commercials, down here in New Orleans, the Juan LaFonta commercial, Juan LaFonta. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's serious? That's not serious. It's entertaining, but it definitely isn't giving, what I would have think of as professional. But does it matter if they can get the job done? Not necessarily. I often feel like everyone loves to police the way Black women express themselves. And I, through my own therapy, am starting to realize that there is a fine line between not being a menace to society with my mouth, but then also speaking and expressing myself freely, therefore being myself and not letting other people's hangups affect the way I express myself. So because I am that type of person, I do not overly judge women or people, period, when they express themselves however they express themselves, especially if I listened to what they said and I didn't have a problem with what they said. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Everybody like gets caught up on, delivery. And I'm like, y'all confuse delivery for the things that people actually say. Like, I'm going to go ahead and use, shout out to Cynthia G. I'm going to go ahead and use the Kitten and Heels for a reference point. People love to say that Kevin Samuels, said things that were truthful and people just didn't like his delivery. That's what they would say. And I feel like that's a bunch of bullshit. Hear me when I tell you, girl, it's a lie from the pits of hell and I won't go along with it. I don't care who's saying it. You don't get to get up here online and promote people ignoring their children for the sake of a man and think that that's healthy to disseminate in a community where a lot of young girls or kids, period, have to sit across the table from their abuser as if nothing has ever happened. And you promoted that message and you think that somehow that has something to do with delivery? Oh God, it's quite perplexing. Like just gosh, like the times we live in, the times we live in. So when you have people saying things like that and y'all think that's delivery, when we come around to this young lady, everybody made it about her delivery. Now the lady then lost her job. Okay, so we're gonna take it all the way back. We're gonna listen to what she had said. Hopefully we can see how much of this I can sit through, because I watched the second video by way of someone else's commentary. I can't remember whether it was Chrissy or Cynthia. I can't remember. It was somebody, child. I just be watching shit sometimes. And I remember hearing, I think it was Cynthia, the way she was crying or like pleading with Black men, like to save themselves, and how she's trying to, stop all of that. Like everything that she was saying, like pleading for understanding from people that she feels that she's trying to save. It's like, where in this did you learn to take off the cape? Because in understanding the psyche of men and understanding how detrimental their mental can be, I'm saying, like, if you can understand what Black men go through in this society and how they have all of these like negatives held against them off rip, okay, fine. If you can understand that, then I also need for you to understand that there are people that will use their disadvantages to their advantage. because you can always use how people mistreat you to make other people do what you want them to do. Like do we not understand what that is? To like, oh my God, I was hurt. Feel bad for me, so that I can abuse you, so that I can get away with not doing everything I need to do, so that I can get away with accountability, so that I can cheat on you, so I can hurt you, so I can say whatever I want to say, so that I can physically harm you and blame it on how you were dressed, so that I can, have a relationship with your child and then act as if your child came on to me because of the way that, like, I can ignore all of the laws and all of the common decency and common sense that comes in this life and just say any old thing, and people will have to go with it, all because I'm a man. If you can understand the way men can manipulate because of the system that we live in that allows them to do so, then you also have to understand, as a woman, you cannot save them. They can only save themselves. And honestly, pleading and begging for them to do so is not going to get you where you want to go. Focusing on yourself. Y'all may not want to hear this, but bitch, Jada Pinkett said it best in 1997, I believe. Okay? I could be wrong. It could have been 1999. Child, I don't know. It was the ends of the 2000s. Okay? And she gave a speech. And a part of that speech was telling Black women to worry about themselves and their own growth. And then by product, their men can be fixed. But the women have to work on themselves first. This message may not have resonated when I was a child, but now that I'm an adult, this message resonates through my body like motherfucking air. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But the truth of the matter is, I have flourished more in my life when I put all of my focus mainly on myself. Not only, but mainly. Put my focus on me. Making me feel better. Making me look better. My business, my dream. What I wanted to do for myself. How I feel. As soon as I really started to focus on that, things have started to flourish in a way that they were not before, when I was giving my life away to a job that I couldn't stand, when I was unbalanced in my relationship because I was not taught any better. Okay? Like, as soon as you start focusing on you, then you understand these things. So it makes me wonder and question her actual expertise. Not because of what she said at the beginning, but because of how she came and cleaned it up on the back end. That made me feel like you don't have a firm understanding yet. You can't help people if you don't have a firm understanding yet. So yes, get on social media and talk your shit, but also do further learning and schooling on what you do. Okay? That's not shade. That's the truth of the matter. Because as a 34-year-old woman, I don't know how old this woman is, but I'm not a psychologist. And I understand something about men that she doesn't seem to understand. And that's why I'm saying, if it's not something that you don't have time to learn that lesson just in life the way I did, because you do this as a profession. So you need to go and do more research and get more education on how to handle, okay? Not only handle yourself and your understanding of the people you help, but understanding boundaries. Because I feel like as Black women, we don't understand boundaries. And what I mean by that is, you as a therapist have to learn that there are boundaries that need to be put in place so that shit like this does not happen to you going forward. This is a lesson she's going to have to learn. But something makes me feel like she'll learn it quickly. And eventually it'll be something that she can go back to and break apart, break apart. You know what I'm saying? And be able to say, this is the moment that I made this mistake, and this is why I can't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Book smart with no common sense. Yes, Tracy, say it. Okay? Why every time we complain and tell our truth, Black men want us hurt? That's very interesting, Hannah. That's very interesting. I just got torn apart, and I believe an on-site post comments. All because I said that I can't stand how sometimes women can't get online and express their experiences. And it seems as if the women are just having a conversation amongst themselves, because you'll see one woman comment, then another woman comment, say, girl, you two. Another woman, girl, me three, me four, me five. And then you'll find a whole bunch of men or little boys coming into the comments telling these women that their experience is a lie, trying to flip it and say how they know women, women who've done this to men. That's not what we're talking about. And then they're like, oh, why is it that we can't come into the conversation? Because you're not adding anything of value to the conversation. You're actually trying to basically break down whatever the woman is saying, because it doesn't go along with the narrative that all women are trash that y'all love to go with. Anytime a woman talks about being hurt or being taken advantage of by a man, which is something that happens fucking frequently, every time a woman talks about it, something that happens all the time, there's always some man or some little boy that wants to come and argue about that experience as if they have any understanding of it. You don't even know what these women are talking about. But here you are coming in with all of your little Kevin Samuels bullet points that you like to repeat anytime you see a woman saying something that you do not like using the word accountable all over the place, telling her she should have chose better, all because she talked about her experience, as if women don't choose in order to figure out how to choose better. You choose bad sometimes so that you can choose better the next time. This is called a journey. This is called an experience. It's called my fucking life. And one thing people need to understand, especially women, is that you don't have to make any apologies for the mistakes you make with these niggas, okay? Like, you really don't have to. I mean, you make apologies to yourself, to the people that you affect, your children and all of that, by the men you decide to bring into your house in order to affect them, whatever. But ultimately, fucking strangers online, nigga, I don't have to explain my choices to you. Be better, be a better version of a nigga so that I can come into contact with a better version of a nigga. Because y'all work on my nerves, okay? Anyway, child, let's get into this, because I go on a diatribe and I didn't even mean to, but it be all over the place, like all over.
And got butthurt for me telling them to better themselves. They're mad because I called them dusty bitches and wanted them to be accountable for their fuck shit behavior, but like, go off, king. Be shitty. That's fine with me. Like, I was dead ass like, hey, go talk about the shit that hurts you and plagues you and has traumatized you. So you can basically learn the emotional vocabulary required to express yourself to make your life easier. And they were like, fuck this bitch. Poor unhealed sons. Now, I know a lot of y'all think the only socially acceptable response to things that you don't like is anger. But I'm here to tell you, when you go to therapy, you learn a variety of other emotions. And when you learn to communicate those things, your life gets easier. But instead of being accountable, you want to displace your hatred for your father on me. Go talk to somebody about why that is, King.
Stop calling him.
So yesterday on Twitter, vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. This fucking weird ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bruh. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us. It's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy. Talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up. Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards. And at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. All right. Go in peace.
Okay, so she wasn't supposed to be like this, right? Like, I'm gonna tell you why it's weird for me for people to be upset about a young woman being a therapist and talking the way she does. This is the society that we live in. Like, y'all, this is the society we live in. Like, this is how people speak. This is how people talk. This is social media. Nobody's speaking in complete sentences. Nobody's using punctuation. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's refraining from using profanity. Like, that's not what's happening in this day and age. And so in order to meet people where they at, you have to speak the language that they're speaking. It's a lesson I understood a long time ago about being on social media. I mean, people gonna feel how they're gonna feel about you either way. But I still feel like at this point, I didn't even know she was a therapist. I just feel like she was telling people to get therapy. I don't understand how that was wrong, but we can continue.
And we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotion, and we can pay for our own shit. I fucking love it here. First off, y'all bitches is smart. This is the exact blah. The comment says, I wish men would understand that emotional intelligence is so important because of how much clarity/security it would bring to your lives. Y'all think bitches just be talking in y'all ear just to be fucking talking. We don't.
Y'all do. That's funny. I also want to agree. I want to agree with her on this, because and another thing is that how is this any different from people going to all of these gurus online for advice when, you know, she's an actual licensed therapist and she talking that shit to y'all just like those people do, and those are the people that y'all listen to. Y'all don't listen to actual doctors and shit. Y'all listen to people that don't know what they're talking about on the internet. So if it's somebody that knows what they're talking about on the internet, why are we acting like bitch, why are you talking to us like this? Like, what? But she is right about men not listening because they like, okay, this is a conversation I used to have all the time, where I feel like when a woman has figured something out, she'll inform a man. She'll tell him, hey, you should do it like this because this is easier. Or maybe you should try this because this is better. It's not because she's trying to like school him or trying to son him. It's because she's trying to help him. And y'all always talking about how y'all want a bitch to be a helpmate. Okay, everybody want a lady to be a helpmate. But then as soon as she help you with her knowledge, with her fucking brain, then all of a sudden we have a problem with that. Now you're being too masculine. I need you to pick a struggle, sirs. I need you to pick a struggle, okay? Because she's right. There's nothing that she said yet that has been wrong to me.
Bitches just want to argue with y'all because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary. We don't. I mean, so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired.
Black America responds to therapists who scolds Black men for not going to therapy. So some weird Black woman wrote an article about this Black woman, and it caused her to get fired. So now she's going to like jump off the deep end on her TikTok. So here we are.
Not only does she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few.
They doxed her as well, which is extremely violent to do to someone. You have no idea how crazy men will pop up on somebody's doorstep because y'all put that lady's address online. You think somebody deserves to have something done to them, like physical bodily harm, because you don't like something that they said on the internet? Something's wrong with you. I think a lot of y'all need to understand something. People don't deserve to be harmed like physically or unalived because you don't like what they said online. That is not reasonable. That's not reasonable. It's illegal. It's against the law. It's one of those things you should probably go and like take a deep breath about. Y'all do it because it is, you know. Let's continue.
Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go to fucking therapy. Y'all attacked me and got mad at me because I wanted better for y'all. That's the most crab in the barrel bucket type bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Well, I want to tell you, I don't know, like she must be young. I don't know how young she is, but I feel like it's given 20s because I'm just saying at this big age, girl, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that I feel like, yeah, girl, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Like that's the whole, and this is disrespect to no one. The whole hood mentality is wrapped in the idea that you can't do better, so you shouldn't try to do better. Like, think about it. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but now that me and my cousins have gotten older now and we are in our like mid to late 30s and shit like that, we have these conversations all the time about the things our parents, specifically my dad, used to say when we were younger about like hoods, okay? And he didn't have any type of patience or consideration for hood. And a lot of the rhetoric in the 90s, in the early 2000s, when we were growing up, is to have understanding for hood shit. Okay, you're supposed to understand it because they put drugs in the Black community, because you know they have messed up school systems, because they don't give us this and this, because the food is fun. Like they have all of these things that are put against us, and we learn about all of these things that are put against us, right? But there are many people that still somehow go from being lower class or living in projects or living in, you know, Section 8 or whatever you want to call it, that eventually work their way. They get a good job. Most of these people usually are Black women, but I'm going to just go ahead because it's not just Black women, but it's mostly Black women. They found a way to get a good job. They were good at their job. They got there on time. Even when they wanted to curse people out, they didn't. They took a deep breath and they held it real professional, even with an accent, bitch. Okay, and they did their job, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, Lakeisha and them become the manager. Okay, and then she making real good money. Okay, and then they might transfer her to another spot, and she might move to Houston, and then now she gotta, you know what I'm saying. So like, understand, and then I'm just telling y'all based on the women that I have grown up around in New Orleans, Louisiana, that grew up in the hood, mama on drugs, daddy nowhere to be found, or both of them on drugs, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, being raised by grandmothers or other parents, and they still go out there and get money and get a better house and go move into a better neighborhood and have a better life. In some respect, I have seen all of my cousins, I've seen my, you know what I'm saying, the extended family, I've seen all of them at one point or another in their lives go and obtain better than they had out of sheer will and determination to do so. So when I see men, or specific, you know, say specifically Black men, with this attitude that it can't be done because of how the world treats them, it's like, at least you don't have to, like, you know, protect your coochie while doing it. Like, wait a minute, do you really have it worse than we do? Do you really have it worse than women do? Do you really? Do you really? That's the question I'm now asking. Now that I have my male cousin, you know, cousins that have done well for themselves and do have good jobs and do have a better life than they probably grew up in, or just as good as they grew up in, just because they made better decisions. It makes you wonder why everybody else seems to believe that they can't get out of these circumstances because of all of these things that's, you know, that's so hard on them, as if we don't all have to deal with these microaggressions. When I was watching Baby Boy yesterday, that was the thing that screamed to me the loudest was Sweet Pea. Y'all know that was Jodie's best friend. I can't wait to talk to y'all about that movie. But the thing that killed me about him was you can't keep your cool long enough to sell a lady a stolen dress on the side of the fucking road. Yet you think you're going to be able to hold down a job. And that's the thing. You don't teach emotional intelligence And that means you don't teach them how to control themselves. You don't teach them how to cool the fuck off. You teach them that it's a good thing for them to respond to everything in anger. They're a real man if they can respond to every situation with wanting to fight or kill somebody. You teach that in the music. You teach that in the movies. You hear the men on the podcast talking about how the men who don't live that type of disrespectful lifestyle, those men are simps. Like they teach y'all not to read books. That's lame. Like y'all are not supposed to do anything that makes y'all better as men. Y'all are only supposed to do the things that are very regressive of y'all, but make money at the same time. It's crazy. It's the most insane thing to teach such opposing things to the people of the same community, right? So to me, I feel like at some point we have to realize that y'all are making decisions to have hard lives. Y'all are making a decision at a moment in your mind that it matters more for you to curse this person out. It matters more for you to not show up at your job today. It matters more for you to not pay this bill right now. It matters more for you to do some illegal shit because it's fun. Like all of those things will matter more to you in the moment than your life in the long run. And then you'll turn around and blame society. You'll turn around and you'll blame circumstances for why you are where you are. When the truth of the matter is, you're where you are because you put yourself in that situation in one way or another. So when we talk about accountability, because there's somebody in the comments cursing me out right now, talking about how women aren't accountable. Yet, we're not the ones that are out here losing our shit nearly as much. We're the ones that keep it together long enough to get to these better situations. I'm just saying. Just observations. I could be wrong.
A plethora of Black men decided to take it upon themselves to call my employment to get me fired. You succeeded, but you succeeded in not the way that you think. If it's one thing about Black women is that we're incredibly resilient. This just cleared the table to give me space and opportunity to educate the masses while shaking our asses to healing because y'all got mad because I wanted you to do better. I was told they consulted with shareholders and decided to terminate my contract because I told y'all to go to therapy. That's the world we live in. I mean, so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only does she not have any regard for my safety, many argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We starting a discussion on mental health.
That's what we learned, sis.
You might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, shaking the tables. I don't give a fuck. But then it's, well, hello.
Okay, so that's enough. Shout out to sis. Unusually, I can't see what it says.
It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these
Unusually
hoes.
Bree? Is that what it says? I hope that's what it says. Shout out to her. I'm sure she will do much better in life after this. I'm sure she will. Okay. So with that being said, I wasn't going to bring this one up. Hold up, y'all. I wasn't going to bring this one up, but I saw it on TikTok. Let me see if I can pull up my TikTok. Because if I can pull up my TikTok, by God, I can show you this video that this young Caucasian man did that I recently liked. Okay. I'm going to have to go and get my dogs, you guys, because, the rain is non-stopping. And something tells me that Barack is lying right in the rain, y'all. He loves lying right in the rain. Okay. But this is what I'm going to do. I've already seen this clip. So I'm going to play this clip and go run and bring my dogs inside. And then when I come back, we're going to discuss. Is that cool? I hope so. Because that's what I got. All right. So I'll be right back.
And just a quick note, it's that part, right? Okay, 1 second. The psychologist that wrote that piece is now getting hate mail from men. Why is this happening? Roll the tape.
Wait, ladies, I hate to break it to you. You better get your act because the window closes quickly, unlike for men. It's the unfortunate truth of it.
I have a question. Are y'all chomping at the bits for those two? Their podcast is called Daddy Issues. It says it all.
Most males nowadays are fucking bitches, bro. Like, Let's talk about our feelings. Let's not be aggressive. Let's just let's just.
I love this new trend of men shitting on other men and proving the point. Okay, another question. Do y'all want that? Roll the next tape.
3 things you should never say to an alpha. Number 1, no. Did you just tell me no?
Is this? I can't. Is this you?
Y'all ain't gonna fuck.
I've been summoned.
Y'all ain't gonna fuck with me after this.
I feel like I came in right when that music started.
Y'all ain't gonna fuck with
and I don't want that music to play.
I've been summoned.
Hold up. I don't want the music to play and it keeps moving.
Y'all ain't gonna
Stop
fuck.
it. Oh my God.
And you want to know something while we're on topic, Sierra?
Yo. TikTok it won't stop moving. Like I'm trying. Give me a second. Okay. Why does it keep doing that? Y'all, it literally keeps moving every time. I'm just trying to, it won't let me. Y'all, it literally won't stop moving. Like every time. Hold up. Let me go to Brett's page. Let's see. Okay. Where'd it go? Let me see if I can find it. Because now I can't find it. Because like, I don't know what it looked like. I hate it, y'all. I hate when I'm trying to do something and it's not working. Okay, hold up. I want to see where we were. Okay, yeah, no, I cut that music off because I ain't got time for that. Okay, hold up. I got it. I got it. Okay. Got it. All right. We're good now. All right. Thank you so much. Fun with Renika. Men think it matters more to sleep around in their 20s than to focus on their self-awareness. Child, I don't even think if they think it's just their 20s, because at this point, you old niggas are embarrassing yourselves too. But let's go ahead and continue.
That was some top alpha stuff right there. Play the next one.
So I think I figured out why women are dating outside the church these days. And it's pretty simple. Because church boys aren't masculine anymore. Just walk into a church and walk up to 10 guys, talk to them. They do not radiate masculine energy.
I might be confused. So I need your help. Does that guy radiate masculine energy? I'm genuinely asking for a friend. The next few really take the cake though. I'm dying.
Ladies, we noticed that little mustache above your lips.
I think he's jealous he can't grow one yet.
He's jealous.
I love the whole genre of dudes just staring at their phone and not saying anything and then putting shitty text on there because they don't know how to talk. I could keep going on and on with these, but I'm going to wrap it up with this one. What is this? Like, what was that? Is that normal? And this is the craziest part about all of this, is that they still want to continue to blame women for why they're single and then are only listening to men who are single and angry that they're single. Make it make sense. Therapy is wonderful. You are welcome here if you want to join the Love Army. We are healing together, but this is just not it. Much love y'all.
Okay, he is like so hilarious to me. I love so I had to pull that up because even though it's a different group, right? It's not even Black people, but I feel like essentially it's saying the same thing. We're having the same argument.